welcome to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers and welcome newcomers. I hope you like the channel. I hope you become part of this family with us by subscribing, of course, hitting that subscription button. It's free, and of course, if you like the videos, to hit that thumbs up. It's extremely important. If you do subscribe, please hit the notification bell to be notified of the new uploads that I come up with, which is every week. So for the most part, I use a 2.75 hook, sometimes 3.5, depending upon the project I'm working on. A pair of scissors, of course, and a small one to tuck in loose ends. My threads are Portugal threads. They're 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal brands. My colors, they go by number, except for the white or the off-white. They actually have the name white, but all of the mixed colors on any of them that I have, it's by numbers, which I get requested a lot about these threads, and people ask me if I sell them. I wasn't selling any, just basically using them for crochet, but because sometimes the demand is so high, I said, okay, I will do it. They're $12 a ball. They're 100 grams. It's in between 300 to 325 yards. Similar to Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton. Mine's a little bit thinner, and of course, so my projects are a little bit smaller. If you're interested, minimum of order is 6 balls because the shipping is horrendous. Okay, so they're $12 if you're interested. You can always email me, or everything is listed on the description box below. I have Instagram, TikTok. I have a private crochet group if you would like to join, and you have a profile, then you're more than welcome to request. I also have a crochet page that you can follow. You can message me through there also. And please feel free to request anything that you would like to see. And for the ones I already have, thank you for the requests. I think I've done quite a bit for you guys. So we are going to get started, and thank you again for such a blessing and being part of this journey with me. The only way I can survive and keep going on is by having the channel to grow. Sharing is caring, so please share, and thank you so much for the people that have been sharing. There's quite a few of you that have been sharing, quite a lot. And also, if you want to help out the women in need of thread that cannot afford, then you can help by donating either thread yourself, and you can contact me and I'll give you their address, or you can donate whatever amount you would like, either through the little bag below that says thanks below the video. That belongs to YouTube, of course, and they take 30% off of whatever you offer, or my PayPal account will be in the description box. You can donate through there also. And I want to thank every single one of you that have donated or tipped me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So I was requested to create a egg basket with a chicken. It has been around for quite some time, and I happened to do it. I was very young at the time, and I had got it from a neighbor that she had created and taught me how to make it. Now, of course, it's been many years. Not that I'm saying I'm old, if you know what I mean. But yes, it's been a long time. So I asked a few friends to help out because I can't remember exactly everything about creating that piece. So I had a little bit of my friends that helped me out with some indications on how to proceed about. So it's unfortunate I don't have pictures because, back then it was the instant picture we used to take, or it was the one that you would bring in and have it developed and all that. So it's not like technology nowadays. And of course, as a young girl, it's not like, I had money to bring or to buy those little instant throwaway cameras and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to try our best to create this chicken egg basket, you know, to put your eggs around. So we're going to get started. I hope I can, you know, do it if I can recall it. With my friend's indication helps also. So thank you so much for being here. Please let me know if I pull through this. What do you think about it? And if you're not subscribed, please do so. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to do the magic circle. In case you can't, then do a 10 to 12 chain. Why do I say 10 to 12 chain? Because some people's tension is tighter than others. So if your tension is extremely tight, you can do a 12. If your tension is loose, then do a 10. So I came up with one chain just to secure that. And then I'm coming in with a single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I am going to complete 20 double crochets total. Okay. So, and I'm using a 4-ply 100% cotton thread. I'm using the off-white, but it's like this. And I get questioned a lot on my threads. These are Europe, they're Portugal threads, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3, a little bit thinner. So if you're using Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton, your patterns will become bigger. Okay, and in case you don't have, then you can double or triple your number 10 Aunt Lydia. Okay, in order to succeed the same length or so. So 20 double crochets. I've done my 20 double crochets. I'm going to come on my second chain from where I started. I started my single and 2 chain with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back in and create a single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. Usually this is how I started. Please always look ahead of the video before you create. Sometimes mistakes can be done. Of course, we're not perfect. We're far from being perfect. And we can correct them instead of taking it down for the most part. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in on the same stitch and create another double crochet on the same stitch. So we're doing 2 double crochets per stitch. That means we should have 40 double crochets because it's 2 together on the same stitch. This is row 2. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing row 2. I was almost forgetting. So I have this old roll that I use quite a bit of this cotton to fill either pillow decorations or any little decorations that I usually do. So you could always get that at your dollar store or your Dollarama, your Dollar Tree, to fill in for your chicken, okay? So I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to come back in, going into row 3, single, 2 chain. On the next stitch, we're doing an increase of 2 chain and 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Next stitch, 1 double crochet. Next stitch, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. We're going to repeat this all the way around. 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together on the same stitch. This is row 3. Okay, so we completed row 3 going into row 4. So row 4, very simple. It's 1 double crochet per stitch. So I did my single, my 2 chain, next space, next stitch double crochet, next stitch double crochet. We're going to do 1 per stitch all the way around. This is row 4. Okay, everyone, so finish row 4 going into row 5. Now row 5, we're going to start increasing right at the beginning 2 double crochets on the same stitch 8 times. So next stitch, 2 double crochets. So we'll have an increase 8 times, 2 in the next one, 2 in the next stitch, 2 in the next stitch, 2 in the next stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and my 8. So 8 increases only on this row right at the beginning, and then 1 per stitch all the way around until the end. So only at the beginning we needed to do that increase. 1 double crochet per stitch all the way around. This is row 5. So don't forget, 2 together in the same stitch 8 times. So you should have 16 double crochet the increase. Well, together, I should say. And then 1 per stitch. Okay. So I've completed row 5, going into row 6. During my single, my 2 chain. Again, we're going to repeat 1 double crochet per stitch. We're going to do this repeatedly until the 13th row, okay? So it's just 1 double crochet per stitch. There's no point of me keep recording all the rows because it's just a repeat and it takes too much memory on my mobile. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 double crochet per space, per stitch. Row 7, 1 double crochet per stitch. Row 8, 1 double crochet per until 13 rows altogether. I'll meet you at the end of my 13th row. Okay, everyone. So I pretty much finished doing my 13 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is the body of the chicken. Now, you remember on the 5th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we did the 2 double crochets together. So on the first group, I hooked a marker, and on the second one, on the last one, this is where we did the increase of the 8 increases, 2 together. This will be the butt of the chicken. So that's why you had to put it there. Now what I did was I went by eye, half and half, and I've closed in and I put a marker here just to get my count. Okay, so where I put my marker, so I pretty much divided half and half and see my stitches if they count properly here, and put a marker here, and then from this marker to here I've counted 8 including the marker, and then again on this side because this is the neck part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I put a marker, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have 16 double crochets all together once we start working on it. Okay, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do the neck part of the chicken. So I did, of course, I had tucked in my loose ends. I did my slip stitch knot. I'm going to take out the marker here because we're going to work on this. Now, remember what I said, counting from the marker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my 8, and I'm grabbing the back one also. So we're gonna close that neck up of the chicken, and we're gonna do a single, trying to tuck in my loose end here with that thread, and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. I'm going to take this marker, we don't need it anymore because I've already closed up that neck, and I'm going to do a total of 16 double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, all the way to where we've closed up. So I'm on my 15, and my 16 would be on the same one as we started, and then I'm going to close up the neck here with a slip stitch on the first one we did. Okay. Now we're going to do another row of double crochets, one per stitch. So I'm coming back in on that first double crochet with single 2 chain, and that's my first double crochet, my second. So we're going to do those 16 double crochets again all the way around, creating that neck of the chicken. Okay, so I've done my second row. Now we need to start closing up that neck. It gets a little bit harder because it's a small hole to work in. So I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to come in the next one with a single, okay, and then I'm going to skip a space into the next one, single. We need to close that neck up. Skip a space into the next one, single. Skip a space into the next one, so always skipping a space because we need to close that neck. Gets a little bit hard, the hole gets a little bit tighter because it's closing up, but we just have to work it a bit. So skip that one, and this is where I've done my chain. So I'm going to slip stitch. We have to do another row of it, so I'm going to go up 1 chain. I'm going to skip the next one and into the next one. We're going to repeat exactly what we just done. Skip a space into the next one. Skip a space. Just keep turning your pattern. I want it to be too loose either, it won't look pretty. And then skip a space into the next one. And then we are right at the where we did that 1 chain. So slip stitch. Funny looking neck, isn't it? So we have just a little tiny more to close. So basically you would just come into the next one, do your single. I know you can't almost see it, but then I'm going to, I don't want this to be too loose. Don't like when the stitch is too loose. It's not pretty. So I'm just going to slip stitch through it now. And I'm going to cut my thread. And tuck in the loose ends. Now what you can do is you can pull it from the inside because that will be hidden, right? And pull your string into the inside of the pattern. And I'm just gonna tuck in here and give it a knot on the inside. So when you do wash, or whoever you're giving it to, and they wash it, nothing comes apart. You're safe that everything is all well put together. This is in the inside of it, right? So we got that neck part of the chicken. Okay, everyone. So now we're going to open up our chicken body. Should have just tucked in this loose end here before we close up any further. So you don't want to over tighten your your hole there. So I'm just going to tuck in this loose thread because it will make it easier now before we have to close out the chicken completely, right? Go around a few times to make sure that nothing is going to come apart. And I'm going to do a knot here also to make sure that this thread is not going anywhere. This was in the inside of the chicken anyway, so, and just tuck in one more time here. Okay, so now we have our division here. Okay, so we know that it's on the 5th, so between the 5th and the 6th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So between the 5th and the 6th row, we're going to do double crochets on this row all the way around. So slip stitch knot. I'm even going to start here so it does not confuse you at all. So bend it between the 5th and the 6th. This is the 6th row. Make sure that you're facing this way. Actually, I'm even going to take out this because we know automatically where the increases are, right, on the 5th row. Okay, so I'm going to come, make sure that you're bent properly, okay? I'm just going to come directly in between the 5th and the 6th row with single and 2 chain. And then next stitch, single and 2 chain. We're going to do this all the way around the same way, so it's a little bit of a pain, but you have to bend it carefully so you don't catch the wrong rows. And just 1 double crochet per stitch. So I'm basically going in between stitches here to make it easier on myself. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm on my last one. I'm going to close in with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back in the same stitch, single and 2 chain. We're going to do 5 double crochets, and on the 6th one we're going to do an increase. It's going to be like this all the way around on this row. So I have 5 double crochets on my 6th, 2 in the same stitch. That's my increase. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on my 6th one, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So we're going to do this all the way around, counting 5 double crochets and 2 on the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 on the same stitch. Okay, everyone, so almost reaching the end. Now, when you're going to come to the end, for sure you're not going to have exactly 5 double crochets left to go into the 6th, right? That doesn't matter, doesn't change anything. Just continue to do your double crochets. It doesn't matter if you don't have enough, okay? It's not going to change nothing. So in my case, I had 3 left, which is okay. And then I'm going to come on my second chain from where I started with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back into that one, single 2 chain. We're going to continue to do double crochets, but we're going to do the increase where we have the increase that we did. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do it the increase on the second double crochet of the increase. So I'm going to add 2 together on here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you will be having 6 and then your increase, and that should be okay. Remember, when you get to the end, not necessarily it's going to be the same thing. That doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. We need to do these increases here where we have done them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here on my 7th, I'm doing my increase, which is on the second double crochet of the increase from the previous row. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end. So far we have 1, 2, 3 rows. We need 3 more rows. We have to have a total of 6 rows. So we're just going to repeat exactly what we did for the next 3 rows. Double crochet over double crochet, and where we have the increase, we're going to do the increase on the second double crochet. On this second one, we're going to do 2 double crochets together. Okay, so very simple. We have to have a total of 6 rows. So on this one here, we're doing 2 double crochets in the same space. That's the second. So again, just repeating everything again. On the second double crochet of the increase, again, an increase. Okay, so like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, doing the 4th, and 5, 6 rows, and repeating exactly the same thing. I'll meet you at the end of my 6th row. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and my 6 rows that I've counted not from the one that we grabbed to close in to do this, okay, the one right after, where we have the increases, okay, the first row of the increase. So I'm going to come back in with a single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain, coming back into the same space and creating a double crochet. So we have a V. I'm going to skip a stitch going into the next one with a single. 1, 2, 3 chains, skip a stitch into the next one, single. 1, 2, 3 chains, skip a stitch into the next one, single. 1, 2, 3 chains, skip a stitch into the next one, single. So now we have 3 loops of 3 chain. I'm going to do skip a stitch here, come into the next one and do a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, 6. No, not 6, 3. Because we already did the double crochet. Sorry. 1, 2, 3 chain, coming into the same space and create your other V. Skip a space, a stitch, single, and repeat the 3 loops again. 1, 2, 3. Skip a stitch into the next one. 1, 2, 3. Skip a stitch into the next one. 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch into the next one. So we have the 3 loops again. Skip a stitch, coming in the next one, doing a double crochet, and 1, 2, 3 chain. Coming back in, create your V again. Skip a stitch, single, and then repeat your 3 chains again. I think yeah, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then V, and then 1, 2, 3, and then V. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. For sure, it's probably not going to have the right count at the end, but we'll fix it at the end. No worries about that. Okay, everyone, so I'm getting to the end. And like I said, it probably wasn't going to match up to have the right amount. So I've done my last 2 chains. I'm on my 3rd loop chain. And I'm going to come right into the next stitch. Okay, I'm not skipping. Now I'm going to skip 1 and do my double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Create my last V. I'm coming right into the next one with a single. 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 into the next 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 into the next one. So I have 2, 1, 2, 3, and I'm coming in where I did that first single with the 2 chain going up. Okay, and then I'm going to come into the second chain here like that. So I have my 3 loops at the end. So that's a little adjustment. Okay, I'm going to come inside of this V, single 2 chain. We're going to create 10 double crochets inside of these V's on all of them. Okay, so I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets into the first loop with a single. 1, 2, 3. Into the second loop with a single. 1, 2, 3. Into my third loop with a single, and directly inside of my V again with my 10 double crochets. So we're pretty much decreasing on the loops here. We started with 3, now 2, the next row will have 1. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So 10 double crochets again inside of the V. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 into the first loop, single, and then 3 chain, single, 3 chain, and then directly into the V. Okay, so you'll have 2 loops left on here. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished my row. So I've closed in after doing my single with the slip stitch on the second chain. I'm going to come back and do my single, 2 chain. That's my double crochet and 1 for space. Into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain. So we're going to do the double crochets and 1 chain space between them. So it's the 10 double crochets, 1 chain space. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Directly into the next one with a single. Chain 3. Into the next loop with a single. And directly into the first double crochet. With double crochet, 1 chain, and continue on. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much closed in with a slip stitch on my second chain. From the first one I did single and 2 chain. Now we're going to come from behind this double crochet and we're going to bring the string to the back. It's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. And we're going to do a single, if I can get my thread through here. Good heavens. So the first one is always tricky, but perseverance, right? So do a single on your first double crochet in the back. 1, 2, 3 chain. We're going to skip this double crochet and come and do a back pull single. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Skip this one. Come into the next one. Back pull single. 1, 2, 3. It's always the first one that's hard to do. And again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip this one and come into the next one with single. So we're going to have 4 loops back here of 3 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come directly into the first one here and single. 1, 2, 3. That's all we're going to do to this row. Skip a double crochet, back post, single, 3 chains. Skip a double crochet, back post, single. We're going to create those 4 loops and then jump again from here to the first one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Skip one into the next. 1, 2, 3. Skip one into the next. So we have 4 loops again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And come into the first double crochet again with single. Try not to have this loop here too loose because then it doesn't look pretty. Try to tighten as much as we can here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to create this all the way around. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished my row. I'm going to come back in here in the center with a single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain only for the first one. I'm going to come back in and create a V, exactly how we did here. Okay, I'm going to come in the first loop with a single. 1, 2, 3 into the second loop. 1, 2, 3 into the third loop. 1, 2, 3 and into the fourth loop. So we have 3 loops now. I'm going to come in again on the center here where we jump from one motif to the other. Double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, coming back in, double crochet into the first loop, single. So we're creating the V's in the center here in the middle of the motifs, and that's how we're going to do all the way around. Just remember that we're decreasing, so we have 3 loops now, and then V right in between the motifs. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to close in on my 1, 2 chain. We're going to repeat exactly these 2 rows that we've done here, the 10 double crochets inside of the V, going directly with the single, and then 3 chains. So we're going to do exactly the same thing for the next 2 rows. There's no point to recording, it's just a repeat now on this one. 2, 4, 5, 6. So I've done my 10. We're just repeating, coming in the next loop with a single, 3 chain, next loop single, 3 chain, next loop single. So we're going to end up with 2, and then your 10 double crochets again inside of the V. And then the next row, we're doing the double crochet, 1 chain space. Go directly, and we'll have 1 loop left. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of the next row, because it's just to repeat exactly what we've done here. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished doing exactly what I said I was going to do, the repeat of these 2 rows here, which I've given myself a head start. We're going to do the picot, 3 chain single, picot, 3 chain single on both of them. So I've given myself a head start already. So you're going to come in between the first and the second double crochet, anywhere, doesn't matter. Do your single, 1, 2, 3 chain, and your picot. So very simple. Trying to hide my little leftover thread here. Next space single, and 1, 2, 3, picot. Next one. So you're going to continue to do that until the last one. I'll meet you there. So I've done 9 picots. On this one here, I've done 7. Okay, that's because I've skipped the last ones here. As you can see, I've skipped because we've jumped, right? So I've done only 7 on these ones. But it's okay if you want to do the 9. That's up to you. Here on your last one, we don't do the picot. We come directly into that chain with single. And again, directly in between the first and the second double crochet and create your picots again. And then you can cut your thread. I'm using a terracotta mix thread, but you can use whatever color you like for your chicken because it will have the same colors. And that's it. And then you can cut your thread and tuck in the loose ends. Okay. Okay, everyone. So pretty much finished doing all of the picots. Now remember where we did that funny looking neck. So we're going to turn it sideways. And right on the row that we started doing the neck, we're going to do just before, we're going to do the beak, the nose, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it. But we're going to go right through here and we're going to do a single, and I'm using the canary yellow so I can stand out. We're going to do a single, and right on the line another single, and again on the same space another single. So we have 3 singles. We're going to turn around, do 1 chain, come back in, single, single, and single. Turn around, 1 chain into the next one and hold it there. Okay, and into the next one. So incomplete. So we have 4 on the hook and close it all together. Okay, I'm going to do 1 chain again, and I'm just going to come here and close it this way with a slip stitch. I'm going to cut it, pull that thread through, and then tuck in the loose end in between the stitches in here. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to come in now with the red and do, I don't know what you call it, but that thing they have underneath their beak. So I'm going to come in the same space as I had the yellow with a single, and I'm going to do 2 more chain. 1, 2. I'm going to come back into the same space and create 2 more double crochet. 2 chain, come back in, slip stitch. I'm going to create 2 more chain, 1, 2, and working still in the same space, and create 2 more double crochet, 2 chain, and I'm going to close it up back here. Just in this stitch back here with a slip stitch, and now you can cut it off. Okay, tuck in your loose end. So I've tucked in my loose end. Okay. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to do the top of the head here. So I'm going to start here, just almost at the edge. I mean, you go by eye, not necessarily counting stitch, right? So I'm doing single, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, coming back on my third one, picot. Okay, I'm doing triple. I'm going to come back into the same space, and I should do a triple. The picot, I should close it in with slip stitch and not single. I don't want an opening. So triple, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch. I'm going to come back into the same one with double. One, 2, 3, picot, slip stitch, coming into the next one with double. 1, 2, 3, picot, slip stitch. I'm going to come in the next one with half. 1, 2, 3, and again another half into the next stitch. One, 2, 3, slip stitch, and then the very last one here, I'm going to do a single. Cut my thread, and then tuck in your loose ends. Okay, you guys, so I have 2 little small black beads to do the eyes, but if you don't have, you can stitch in 2, 3 crochet with black and do 2 eyes with the thread. Okay, I happen to have it, so why not input it. We're also going to use the hot gun glue just to have everything stay intact. So you want to fix your beak a little bit. I'm just going to put a bit of glue here just so it can hold it and stay firm here. Just a bit on the edges, just so it can stay a little bit more firm. Funny looking beak, so it doesn't flip-flop. Okay, and so you open up the head a little bit and see what is, the best side. I would say about here. So I'm just gonna grab my tool here You don't need much because that's if you have beads. If not, like I said, you can do it with thread, black thread, just 2 little dots, and you're good to go. I think this chicken's having a very sophisticated eyeball. And the reason why I have it, I have these little beads because they're for nails, to decorate nails. So I'm a nail tech, so of course I have many nail beads and different colors, so this will work for me. But like I said, you can do 2-3 stitch with black thread and you're good to go. Okay, so funny looking beak, right? Now we need the cotton to fill the chicken up. Okay, everyone, so I filled in, I wouldn't have enough of that cotton, so I did have pillow filling. But because it's cut up in little chunks, I put it in a plastic bag so it doesn't come out everywhere, and ziplock it. It doesn't matter even if you want to wash it. It's just perfect because it's ziplocked in. So what we're going to do is we are going to close our chicken up. Okay, so grab a piece of thread. Of course, if I didn't have to make a knot, right? So you're just gonna close it and sew it together. And I did put the cotton in the head, not plastic, obviously, because plastic wouldn't fit there anyway. So you can make a knot. Make sure that nothing is gonna come apart. 2-3 knots, just to have it closed up. And you would just go back and forth on it. Make sure you get the stitches properly. Okay. Only when we get here where we have those increases, we're going to close it different. So we're going to close it until about here, till about where we have the increases over here. The same way, just back and forth. Okay. Okay, you guys. So I've counted about 20. Okay, just to give you an idea. And I'm just going to pass my thread through here because I want to get to the edge here. So I'm not going to pull too much on it. And I'm just going to close it from here like that. Okay, we need to put feathers on here. So just go over it. Feathers are going to come on here. So you're going to do this until we close it all up like that, okay? All the way to the edge, and then cut your thread. Okay, everyone. So now we are going to create the egg holder, little baskets, and then it's glued onto the pattern. Now you can do 12 all the way around. I'm only going to do 6. So I have 5 done. And I'm going to show you the last one. So very simple. I'm going to do the slip stitch knot. If you can't, then you can do a 4 to 5 chain depending upon your tension. I'm going to do 1 chain, come back in and do 6 singles. I've done my 6 singles. I'm just going to close it up. I'm going to come in my first single with a slip stitch. This is done only with singles, okay? So you have to be careful not to miss, because usually when we do things with singles only, it's very easy to miss a stitch, okay? Especially this first one is always the hardest one to get in, I think, on anything that we start. So we have 6. I'm going to go up 1 chain, come back in the same one, and do a single. We're going to have 10 rows of singles, okay? So next space, we're doing 2 per single, 2 per stitch. That means we're going to have 12 singles. 2 singles in the same stitch, total of 12. I've done my 12. I'm going to come on the first one with slip stitch. Now, this is best if you use a marker, okay? So we're going to do 1 chain. I'm coming back in the same one with single. And like I said, it's best that you keep marking with a marker because you don't want to get mistaken. I'm already used to it. I don't use it, but I do count my singles after my 5th row. So 1 single, next space, 2 singles, next space, 1 single, and next space 2 singles. We're supposed to have a total of 16. In case you don't, just add in to have your 16. It doesn't matter if it's 2, 3 on the same stitch, okay? These are all singles anyway, so 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone. Okay, so I have my 16 singles. I'm going to come on the first one with a slip stitch. Make sure that you do mark it or you'll have a very hard time to get it balanced out, okay? So I'm coming into the next, so I did 1 chain, coming into the next one, single. And now I'm going to do another single. So I have 2 singles on the next one, 2 together. Then single, next stitch, single, 2 together on the next one. Okay, so I have 22 singles, and I'm going to close on my first one with slip stitch. 1 chain. Put your marker again to make sure that you don't get them mixed up. So next stitch, single, single, and single. So this time is 3 singles and 2 together. 1, 2, 3, and 2 together. Okay. Okay, you guys. So on this row, I've added like 3 more to have a total of 29. Okay, so we are 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Gonna go up again into the next one, single. Now on this row here, I want to have 32 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th, I'm going to add 2, and it really doesn't have count. Make sure that you have 32 singles on here until you get to your marker, okay? So you can cheat here and there, it doesn't matter. Okay, you guys, so I've done 32 singles, and I pretty much spread them here and there. Now we're going to keep, this is our 5th row, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows. Now, I'm going to do, after my 32, a slip stitch on here. Going up 1 chain, coming back in, single. So I'm counting that as 1. You're supposed to have now until your 10th row, 32 singles all the way around. So you can put a marker, but I suggest you counting is really the best thing, because you want to have the perfect round shape. If it doesn't have the same total, you're not going to have the same sizes. Okay, so the next 5 rows will be 32 singles all the way around, and I count them as I go. So if I need to take out or decrease or increase, I can cheat. There's no problem. Okay. So I'm going to continue mine until then. When you get here, you have your 32. Just go up 1 chain, do a single on the first one, and you should be okay until your 5 rows. So it's 10 rows altogether. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so we're going to do the feathers, which is just again with single crochets. I'm going to do 3 of them, so I've done 2 already. Very simple. Now, if you have a very loose stitch, I strongly suggest using a hook or 2 smaller. This needs to be tight so it can stay nice and stiff once we glue it on to the chicken. Okay. So I'm going to do a slip stitch knot and 25 chain, not counting the slip stitch knot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 until 25, and tighten it up. I've done my 25 chain stitch. I'm going to skip a stitch and I'm going to come into the second one with singles. So we're going to do singles, 1 per stitch until the end, and at the end we're going to add 3 in the same stitch on the very last one, but I'll meet you there at the end. So single per stitch, and try to grab both loops here right in the center so it doesn't curve your feathers here. Feathers, they're not really feathers, but we pretend it to be, right? I'm arriving on my last one, and in this last one we're doing 3 in here, okay, total. So we already have 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to work back again. I'm grabbing the little chain here from where we did the singles. So we have this little chain here. Got to get at least that first one going, or I have a hard time. And trying to hide my thread at the same time. So we're going back and doing singles all the way to the end. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I've reached my last one. Now we're going to work only on back loops, okay, doing singles on back loops only. We have these 2 loops, we're working the back ones, okay, and we're going all the way around again with singles until we come back here, and then we can cut our thread, and our little feather sort of pretend is done, right? There's only so much we can do. I mean, we can do a lot with crochet, but you know. Okay, so then tuck in your loose end. So we're just doing 1 per stitch, and coming to the end here, we're cutting our thread. And then we only have 2 wings left for the chicken, and we're done. Okay, everyone, now onto the wing. So I've done 1 already, I have the last one, and then we're pretty much done. So I'm going to do the magic circle. Just like that. and I'm going to bring my string in and do a single, okay, and then 13 chain, okay, 13 chain. I've done my 13 chain, and I'm going to come in one, actually from the hook, 1, 2, on my third one, and I'm going to do half double crochets, okay. It's always harder to get the first one in, but if you have to use like a smaller hook, then go ahead. So half double crochets all the way to the end. Okay, and I'll meet you there at the end. So I've reached the end. I've done a half double crochet on top of that first single we did. I'm going to come in that magic circle with a slip stitch, and I'm going up one chain. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to come back in the same one with half double crochet. Now we're going to use the back loops only. Half double crochets. These wings are built only with halves double crochets. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5. On my sixth one, I'm doing an increase of 2 halves in the same stitch. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're leaving 3 stitch behind, okay? So we have 1, 2, and 3, okay? I'm going one chain, turn around. Actually, I have 4. I need to do one more. Back loops. Okay, so now we have 3. 1, 2, and 3. One chain. Coming back into the same stitch. Half, and then back loops. 2, 3, 4, 5. On my sixth one, I'm doing an increase. And it falls exactly where we have the other increase. Going all the way to the end. We need to have 4 of these loops here. All the way to the very last one. And then coming in with slip stitch in my magic circle. And doing one chain. Turn around. Coming in the same chain. And doing half. Using back loops again. 2, 3, 4, 5. On my sixth one, doing an increase. We have to leave 3 of these out. 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. So one more, and 4. One chain. So we're creating 3 of them already here. coming into the same stitch, half, half, 2, 3, 4, 5, on my 6th one, and increase. Then going all the way to the end. So we're just going to repeat this again on one more. We need to have 4 of these corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going in my magic circle with a chain, a slip stitch, and then a chain. Coming back in the same stitch with half, and again back loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Increase on your 6th and leaving 3 loops behind. 1, 2, and 3, so I have one more, 1 chain, and now it's just this last one, just half double crochet all the way to the end, and then tuck in your loose ends, and we're done. We have the 4 completed. So I've reached the end. I'm going to come back in with a slip stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to pull in my magic circle and got my wing in. So I'm just going to make a few knots here to make sure that nothing comes apart. And then everything is ready to be glued on. That's our next thing, and we're done. Okay. And then we have to glue all of the things, all of the egg things, and so on and so forth. So we'll be fixing our cute little okay. Okay, everyone. So gluing time. So from where we did the stitch, we've closed in our chicken. We have 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it right here on the 3rd row, right on between the 3rd and the 4th row. I want to secure that wing there. We don't want it too high, and we don't want it too low. And then a little bit here and there. Make sure that our wing stays in place. And then you do the same thing to the other side, of course. So I'll glue the other side the same way. And then you, of course, you can do your egg things 12, 8, 10. It's up to you. I did only 6. I didn't want to do more than that. But very simple. You would, place them as you would want. Fix our little chicken up a little bit here. Poor thing. Her nose is sort of crooked. But anyway. So you place it properly, how you want your little baskets here. And then you would just glue the bottom to make sure that you have exactly where you want it to be. And then you do the same thing to all of the other ones. And I'm just going to place them more or less in the same okay, and then do my wing. And then of course I need to get more wax on here. So as far as for the little tail, so I'm just gonna glue these ones here like that so I can stay in place, or else we're gonna have a very hard time with it. And then you could also do a few more if you'd like. You can put 3 in the back or 4 in the back, 3 in the front. It's up to you. I'm only going to do 3. I'm not going to do more than that. But you can do a little bit more if you want of the feathers back here. I'm doing only 3. It's optional for you. So pretty much we're going to just center this here, have it stay in place, just compress a bit so the glue can stick onto the thread. They tend to flip-flop, but what can we do, right? Starching it, I think, would be the magic before gluing it on. And my nails, getting everything full of glue here. I guess not. She doesn't want to stay. Has to be her way or the highway, right? But anyway, you get the idea. Maybe if I can put just a bit here, get this to stay here, maybe it can stand up a little bit more. Not too much glue. We don't want to spread glue all over the place, so just a little bit like that. Make sure we have enough glue onto that tail there and compressing it. Well, I will have the little video at the end with the pictures. I am going to put some eggs in here so you can see it in display, how cute it looks. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial with my beautiful little friend here. My little, trying to see if I can glue this better on here. Her nose looks crooked, poor thing. Maybe that's better. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. I will see you in the next tutorial. Let me know what you think of this cute little chicken of mine. And I hope that you create and let me know how it goes. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Until next time. Bye.